Hey, call me Shape. And today I'm reacting to a video titled Women Don't Close. What you want doesn't matter. Let's get right into it.
I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is PsycHacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is women don't close. I'm not saying they can't close. I'm saying they don't close. When it comes to relationships, women are not very good at sealing the deal. And today, I'm going to address this issue, which should help women get more of what they want from the men they want to get it from. So let's get to it. To begin with, you have to understand that functionally everything that tends to work in sales also tends to work in seduction. And that's because the fundamental premise is the same. In both cases, you are trying to sell something. The fact that it's a product or a service on the one hand and an experience or a relationship on the other is irrelevant. What works in one domain tends to work in the other. Now, women, listen closely. A fundamental premise in sales is that you have to lead with what the other person wants. You don't lead with what you want. You lead with what the other person wants. Can you imagine how successful a salesman would be if she led with what she wanted? Imagine getting a call from a telemarketer like this, like ring, 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 ring. Is this Orion? Orion, I would love to talk to you today about making my commission. I get 10% of the value of every sale, and I'm saving up for a new car. So I'd really like you to buy a lot today. So, Orion, are you there? Can you imagine? Like, I get it. Everyone has to make a living. That salesman wanted money. So do I. Who doesn't want money? But what does her desire for money have to do with me? The desire for money is completely impersonal. It has nothing to do with my particular needs and wants and interests and preferences. And it predated her interaction with me. Like her desire for money is what motivated her to call me to begin with. It has nothing to do with me whatsoever. Now, men come up against this too in their desire for sex. The desire for sex is actually very impersonal. A man can just see an attractive female and want to have sex with her. This has nothing to do with the woman, like the person inside of her body. In this situation, he just kind of wants the woman to give him access to her body in the same way that our hypothetical salesman just kind of wanted me to give her access to my money. And this approach understandably rankles women. Women might understand that men want to have sex. Who doesn't? But what does men's desire for sex have to do with her? It has nothing to do with her particular needs and wants and interests and preferences. And it predated even his laying eyes on her. That desire for sex is like genetically programmed. It's about as impersonal as it gets. So men learn pretty quickly, though some faster than others, that if they want to get laid, they can't lead with what they want. To be successful, they have to lead with what the woman wants. And what women want more than anything else is an emotional experience. That's why, in order to close, men learn to be funny, or charming, or witty, or dangerous, or mysterious, or bold.
Or they decide that I'm not going to play this game because if I give women what they want, they still might not give me what I want. What about that? And shout out to Dr. Ryan Tarabin, very good doctor. I like his psychology hacks, good stuff. And he has a great book too. I like his book. His book, The Value of Others. I've read it before while I listened to it on Audible, completed it. Very, very good book. But seriously, nowadays, when we give women what they quote unquote want, they still might not give us what we want. And so now men are saying, you know what? Bump that. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm not going to chase women anymore. So now when they call me, like he said that lady called him, I don't care what your impersonal needs are. You need a man, you need a boyfriend, you need provision, you need protection. I don't care. What's in it for me? Call me and tell me what you could do for me if you want protection, provision, and that D. Okay? Call me. But until then, you won't hear from me. You won't hear from us because it's just not worth it anymore. A lot of women feel entitled to what they want and feel like what we want, we got to earn it. How does that make sense? You feel entitled to our money, but we got to earn what's between your legs. Think about that. Makes no sense.
Approaches all generate emotional experiences, which is something of value to women. And this is something that women have taught men that they value because they respond to it. So a good salesman leads with what the other person wants. And if she's a very good salesman, she leads with the solution to an important self-relevant problem, which is something everybody wants. The trouble is that everyone doesn't have the same important self-relevant problem, but trust me, everyone has an important self-relevant problem. And if you can offer a solution to that problem, if you can insinuate that the means to that solution is simultaneously the solution to your own problem, then you have grounds for some kind of collaboration. You can do something together. However, in the absence of that, it's going to be very difficult to seal the deal. And this is precisely what so many women are terrible at. They don't know how to close. And to my mind, this is largely a consequence of the fact that they haven't needed to close or even to initiate for much of their lives. Like the world comes to the young woman, but that interest fades with time. Many of the women I've spoken to were uninterested in getting married and having children in their 20s. However, when their priorities shifted in their 30s, they often didn't appreciate how much more difficult it would be to secure the same offer that they once received. At this stage of the game, most women can't simply sit back and wait for their meet cute. And the men who do show interest are much more likely to entertain a casual relationship than a long-term commitment. So, what's to be done?
Okay, so I want to, and he's probably going to try to get into a commercial. We're going to skip his commercial, yeah. And he probably has like something going on. And shout out to him. I'll put his link into the description. You guys can check him out. But he said women don't know how to close. They don't know how to close because they don't know how to put a man's need before theirs. They've never had to. You never had to put a man's need before yours. Your needs always came first. This is why modern women in the West are brats. A lot of them are rotten. Okay? They never had to do anything for anyone. And to me, it's shocking because all men have, one of the biggest responsibilities for men is women. But nowadays, women, we're not a big responsibility for them. We're not a priority for them. You know, we're going to get what they feel like we deserve to get. But for them, they're entitled to everything: provision, financial resources, protection, working electricity and heat and the infrastructure. Women, you guys just get this shit for free. You're just entitled to it. Society doesn't need to reward the people that are actually holding it together. No. Absolutely not. And here's the thing, right? He said another comment. He said, the world comes to women, right? So women never have to go after it. The phone call comes to women. But then it stops coming, right? The phone calls stop coming because as they age out, they don't understand that the world doesn't desire older women the same way they desire younger women. So they stop getting that phone call. They stop getting approached. They stop getting DMs. They stop getting, a lot of interest from men. A lot of women say they start to feel invisible, right? But I want to contrast this to a man's life. A man has to go after the world. The world doesn't come to us. We have to go after it. We have to create the world. The world didn't just come to us and hand us a society. We had to build it, right? They didn't hand us technology. We had to create it. We had to invent it. And so men, we're so used to manipulating the world, imposing our will into the world to get what we want, to get what we desire. And the idea is, now here's the catch, right? The big idea now is that because men do that, we must do that for women too. Since we've went after the world and cultivated the world and organized the world, we need to do that for women too. We need to pursue women and show her that she's a great wife and she's great for you and let her know that you value her. But why would we do that if we're busy running the world? In fact, if you have a break from working and doing all the hard stuff that men do, wouldn't it make more sense that you're the one pursuing us, since you need the provision and the protection? We have it so wrong that men's supposed to chase women unnaturally. I doubt it. Nobody in the wild is chasing liabilities, but people in the wild are chasing protection. and shelter. Oh yeah, that's exactly what you want. Liabilities, no. No one's taking on any battle. It's not worth it to them. No. So when we protect a woman, it's because it's personal. That's our women. And the women nowadays, they're not worth protecting, sadly enough. I think they're attractive, but a lot of them not worth protecting because they're going to offer you more of a problem than a solution. And they want you to be their solution. So think about that.
Need to get better at sales. Too often in the sexual marketplace, women lead with what they want, which, if the woman is attractive enough, is a decent strategy. Like, men will line up to give beautiful women what they want if they believe it will improve their chances of securing a sexual opportunity. The issue is that most women are not attractive enough to do this, but their girlfriends and their society at large insist that they are. This is not true. No one has to encourage customers to buy a good, affordable product. If the sales aren't coming in, it's often because the product is either not very good or not very affordable. Remember, a bad business blames its customers, and the cat decides what milk is good. In any case, too often, women lead with what they want, which is terrible salesmanship. They will sit down with a man on a first date and say, "I'm looking to get married. I want a committed relationship. I'm searching for a real emotional connection." And it's like, that's great, sweetheart, but what does that have to do with me? Like, you had those desires before you even knew I existed. They are completely impersonal. I can empathize with you, validate your emotions, and respect your desires, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to give you what you want because you want it. After all, you don't just give sex to men who desire you. And this is because it costs nothing to want and something to give.
I love it. I love it. This is why this guy, check him out. He's excellent. I think he's a much necessary force, and he's blowing up, as rightfully so. Go get his book. I'm going to put his book in my Amazon affiliate link, so check out my Amazon affiliate link. I have a bunch of great books I recommend in general, from finance to health and also to dating. And also I put my YouTube setup. If you guys want to figure out how I make these videos, I got my entire YouTube setup. So check out my Amazon link below. I do get a commission if you buy something, so I appreciate you guys for the support. But to stick on what he's saying, okay, that women are too expensive, that the product's not good, and then they look at men as if we're supposed to provide a service for them just because. Like, you want to be married, you want to have kids, you want this, you want this. You're not thinking about what I want. You know what I'm saying? We always been trying to figure out, what do women want? What about what men want? Right? We talk about the patriarchy. Men, we're not really getting what we want. Hookup culture exists, yeah? And you could say men are getting what they want. But women are the ones really pushing hookup culture. We can't control hookup culture. If women decided unilaterally right now that they're not, or unanimously right now that they're going to stop hookup culture, they can. And we can't change it. So it's not like we're getting laid because it's our idea. It's technically a lot of times a woman's idea. So again, a man looks like a product or a service a woman could buy, and she's trying to judge you by how much she likes that product or service. The sad thing about that is we're not a product or service for her. If she wants us, she needs to provide a product or service. And a lot of times women, all they offer is their body. It's a sad thing. I don't think it should be this way. I think there's more to women when it comes to skills, right? You can cook, you can clean, you could be a good mother, you could be a great cheerleader, you could be a great support system, you could be someone that comes from a good family. These are all skills that a woman could, or benefits a woman could provide to a man. So when you meet a man, you really want to get married. How about start with saying, what do you need in a woman, and to see if you even qualify? Maybe you don't qualify, right? What if you show up and say, you know what, this is what I offer in a relationship. I'm fit, so I offer a great fit body. I don't have any kids, so I offer an unused womb. I'm loyal, so I offer you loyalty. That's what women should do, but women will never do this. Well, they do it. They do it to men that they think are the top of the top in value. And so a lot of these things, when men look at it, we say, you know what? Again, we shouldn't chase women. We should chase success. We should chase status. We should chase wealth and let the women chase us. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm done with dating. I'm complete monk mode right now. I'm grinding, working on my purpose. I got to push this RP thing forward. I'm becoming one of the new faces in the niche. And I appreciate it. I'm happy about it. And I got the support. And so I'm going to do my part. This is what I'm focused on. And the women that see what I'm doing, y'all can come holler at me, right? I got my Instagram right in the link. Follow me on Instagram. Send me a DM because I'm not going to send you a DM. All right. Like the video, subscribe to the channel blowing up. I appreciate you guys. Check out some of my other videos and I'll see you over there.